My mother-in-law demanded that I have a baby for her daughter. They've gone crazy. I don't know if anyone has encountered a similar problem or even heard about it. Even writing about it seems strange. It's about my mother-in-law and her spoiled upstart sister-in-law. She is 29 years old, she is not married. In itself, this is not a problem, but the problem is that she behaves as if everyone owes her, and does not accept refusals. I'm 37, I've been married for 12 years, and my husband is 40. We have two children, a 9-year-old son and a 5-year-old daughter. We are happily married, but the real headache is my overly dramatic mother-in-law and her spoiled sister-in-law. Before I give you the details, let me describe these two ladies. They're real society bees, like soap opera heroines. Their days are spent in beauty salons and massage parlors, and their evenings are spent in bars, where they gossip with other equally empty women. They live in their own illusory world. They don't work and all they do is shop and gossip. The father-in-law earns money, and these two spend it. He hardly participates in family life, or rather acts only as a cash cow. There are rumors that the father-in-law has a mistress, and the mother-in-law knows about it. It seems that they have an unspoken agreement. He fulfills all their whims, and in return has his own personal life. I don't know if this is true, but judging by his role in the family, it looks plausible. Otherwise, no sane man could stand the nonsense of his mother-in-law and her daughter. Last week, my mother-in-law called and invited me to lunch on Wednesday afternoon. I wanted to refuse, but since she had asked for a meeting so long ago, she suggested another time. I said I could have dinner tonight, but it turned out that they were busy in the evenings hanging out with their friends in the game room. As a result, we agreed on Saturday afternoon. I came in ordinary clothes, and she came in a shiny black dress. What a choice for an afternoon lunch. As soon as she greeted me, she started criticizing my taste in clothes. After the welcoming chatter, my mother-in-law suddenly asked what we were planning to give my sister-in-law for her 30th birthday. I was taken aback. Her 29th was just a couple of months ago. She said that the next holiday is almost a year away. She laughed. That's why we need to plan ahead. Do you remember what happened last time? She broke up with her boyfriend because of your gift, and her birthday was ruined. Of course, we ruined her holiday by giving her a $250 dress instead of some premium one with a sapphire necklace. Furthermore, my mother-in-law said that she had come up with the perfect gift that we should give to my sister-in-law. And do you know what it is? The child. She seriously wanted me to have a baby for my spoiled sister-in-law. I was in shock. How can you even imagine such a thing? Who in their right mind would ask for a child as a gift? I asked several times if I understood correctly. She confirmed. Yes, I want you to have a baby and give it to Stacy for her 30th birthday. I freaked out. What makes you think I'm going to do this? She screamed. To make amends for your mediocre gift. You ruined her last birthday, so you owe her. I stood up and snapped. I don't owe anyone anything. I'm not a mayor to give birth to children by order, much less give them to her. After that, I stormed out of the restaurant. On the way home, I picked up my son from a friend. At home, my husband asked what was wrong. I asked him what his mother-in-law had told him. He knows what kind of tantrums she and her sister-in-law throw, and he doesn't take them seriously. My husband said that my mother had called and complained that she had offered a gift for Stacy, but I had refused, and now she was offended at me. I blurted out, "Yes, she wanted our baby to be a gift for your sister. Is that what you want?" At first, he thought I was joking and laughed, rolling on the floor. But when I told him everything, he was horrified. Damn it, is she high? I made it clear that I wasn't going to indulge her delusion. My husband reassured me, we are not planning any more children, and we certainly will not give anyone to Stacy. The next day, Sunday, we were lying on the couch at home, enjoying the weekend. Suddenly, my mother-in-law showed up. I said I was tired and wanted to rest, and went into the room. She stopped me, saying that she had come to apologize for yesterday, and asked me to listen. I was glad, thinking that she had finally come to her senses. The mother-in-law apologized, but for not giving enough context to her demand. And then she said, "You know, Stacy's about to turn 30. She's been single for a long time, and it's driving her crazy. She needs a distraction, and having a baby would be a great way to make her happy." I replied, "First of all, a child is a person, not a toy for entertainment. If your spoiled upstart needs a purpose in life, let her go to work." By the way, Stacy still lives with my in-laws because she doesn't work. She doesn't do household chores because she's afraid of ruining her nails. You talk to her, and it's immediately clear that her brain is stuck at the age of 14. The walls in her room are still pink. She has a bunch of pink dresses. She knows nothing about the world. Even who is the president of the country is a mystery to her. All she cares about is the money that magically appears on her card and is immediately spent. I suggested, if Stacy wants a baby so much, let her adopt it. The mother-in-law laughed. Don't be lazy. It's been a long time since you've been pregnant, so turn on your ovaries. Adopted children are such a risk. Who knows what diseases they have, and everything is safe with you. Can't you do this for your little sister-in-law? I glanced at my husband, hoping he would say something. He laughed and said that her mother-in-law was behaving ridiculously with her request. You have enough maternal responsibilities and work as it is, he said. You can't have another child. And then he added how strange it would be if he, her brother, became the father of a child for Stacy. The mother-in-law, without batting an eye, replied, Why not? My friend Maria's daughter-in-law was a surrogate mother for her daughter. What's the problem if your wife does the same for Stacy? I objected, Wait a minute, it was surrogate motherhood. Maria's daughter-in-law was carrying a child because her daughter was physically unable to get pregnant or carry her own. It's a medical problem, but there's nothing like that here. We are being asked to have a baby, as if we are baby-making machines. The husband supported Stacy should find a man on her own, create a family and not complicate everything. My mother-in-law burst into tears. My girl has tried so many times to find a mate, but you know what men are like these days. Then she pointed her finger at me. You are a lucky woman you have my son, but darling, not everyone is as lucky as you. Stacy can't be with just anyone. She has high standards. Men should treat her the way we do. I snorted. Yes, of course. Stacy's last boyfriend didn't please her, because he didn't buy a Gucci bag for a lot of money. My mother-in-law tried to justify her spoiled princess, but I stood up. This conversation makes me sick. I need to rest. Once again, we're not having a baby for Stacy on her birthday. After a while, my husband came into the bedroom, hugged me and tried to cheer me up. I asked him what he had said to his mother. He replied that he had made it clear that we were not planning to have more children, and they should stop bothering us. He also added that his mother-in-law had left in a rage. Can you imagine how absurd this situation is? The first update. Hello everyone. Thanks for being active in the comments. Some were just hilarious. You're right. The sister-in-law is mentally ill, and the mother-in-law urgently needs a psychiatrist. They seem to have crushed their brains with tons of makeup. Lol. If they were normal people, they would have retreated after our conversation. But we're dealing with two crazy people. Previously, only my mother-in-law bothered me, but now my sister-in-law is involved. I'm telling you, talking to her is 100 times worse. She has no logic at all. As I wrote, my mother-in-law ruined last Sunday for me, with her crazy idea about a child. And then, a week later on the following Sunday, bang, she showed up again, this time with Stacy's favorite doll. I think they swore to ruin my weekend. Stacy appeared in a blouse and trousers for the first time, not in her tight mini outfits. But of course the hairstyle and manicure were impeccable. Her mother-in-law pointed at her. See, Stacy is already dressing like a mom. Seriously? Do they think that changing your wardrobe makes you a mother? Changed your clothes and voila. Are you ready to raise a child? Stacy grinned and said, If I'm doing something, I'm doing it to the fullest. And then she rushed to hug her husband, as if she hadn't seen him in years. I told you, she's acting like a 14-year-old flirt. Then she screamed as if we were all standing a kilometer away. When will you give us the good news? The husband pretended not to understand. What news are you talking about? She giggled. I know you want to give me a baby for my 30th birthday, but Mom ruined everything. Now I know your plan. I am so happy to become a mother of a cute girl. I have already started shopping for her. My husband interrupted her, and thank God, because I was ready to hit her on the head. That's not true, he said. We will not give birth to children, let alone give them away as a gift. Stacy thought for a long time that he just wanted to keep the surprise. How can you be so detached from reality? When she finally realized there wasn't going to be a baby, she screamed at me. Why not? You've always been cruel to me. Here's your chance to make amends. Go and bring me a cute baby. I said, Stacy, we're not a baby store where you order a pretty girl and get it. Do you even understand how babies are born? She suddenly calmed down and said, You know, I've always wanted a girl. I have so much love that I want to pour out on my child, and you're depriving me of that. This child will be the happiest with a mom like me. I will raise her to be a confident and successful woman. I promise. You will be proud and you will not regret it. Do you see why I'm saying it's impossible to talk to her? This is pure madness. First of all, how can she be considered sane for raising a child? She doesn't even understand that I can't choose the sex of the baby, as if it were a lipstick palette. Secondly, this witch has never held children in her arms. When my babies were babies, she shied away from them, afraid that they would regurgitate and ruin her hair or clothes. Even now she won't let my daughter near, fearing for her nails and hairstyle. How can you imagine that this woman would change diapers or get up to the baby in the middle of the night? I'm not going to endure 9 months of pregnancy and a painful birth just to give my baby to this spoiled princess and watch her turn him into her mini replica. Stacy kept talking, proving that she would be the perfect mother, but I was no longer listening, lost in my own thoughts. Suddenly, I stood up and blurted out, "Look, Stacy, I know you're going to hate me for this. Anyway, you've always hated me anyway, so what's the difference? I'm not having a baby for you, do you understand? Or should I write this down because you and Mom seem to have gone deaf and lost your brains?" My husband motioned for me to calm down, but I was already losing my mind from their madness. I said I didn't want to discuss it anymore, and if they continued to harass me, I wouldn't let them into my house. Then she went into the room and slammed the door. Maybe I went overboard, but honestly, look at them. I have no words to describe their toxicity. My husband tried to hint that I was overreacting, but I was so angry that he didn't dare to continue. He just said that his mother and sister called him henpecked, and left. I don't care what they say. It's time for him to stop being nice to everyone. The following Sunday, I was preparing for a new confrontation, but it was quiet. I was hoping that this nonsense was finally over. The second update. Oh, how naive I was, thinking that everything would be resolved peacefully. After my emotional outburst, the next 2 weeks passed quietly. I felt relaxed. My mother-in-law didn't show up at our door. But, my God, there was a real storm on the internet, and I had no idea. Stacy was throwing mud at me, claiming that I was taking away her chance to become a mother. She calls herself a beauty expert and posts videos about makeup. She has a decent audience. I'm not particularly active on social media. I have, a real life, 2 children, a job. Anyway, Stacy lied that her brother was willing to have a baby for her, and I was the villain who ruined everything. She stated that she had always dreamed of becoming a mother, but being single, she could not adopt. What nonsense. She didn't even try to adopt a child, and I'm sure she wouldn't have passed the interview. Stacy was talking all sorts of nonsense to denigrate me. They say I'm depriving her of a child just because she's not married and I have conservative and primitive views. I wanted to say, no, I'm taking your child away because you're stupid. I only found out about this hate campaign when my husband's aunt called and asked, "Why are you doing this to Stacy?" It was funny to watch how her stupid girlfriends and followers made a monster out of me. But even if there was some truth in what she said, I have every right to say no. This is my body, and I'm in charge of it. My husband advised me to ignore it. They say, it will pass. At first, I did. But how can I not read a public post addressed to you? I realized that Stacy perceived my silence as weakness and was becoming even more arrogant. Then my friends and I came up with a plan. I called Stacy and said, "I'm worried about your online campaign against me. This negativity is ruining my reputation, so I'm thinking of having a baby for you." Yes, that's exactly what I said, just to amuse her ego. Honestly, I don't care what she or her stupid followers think, but it was high time to put it in its place. This pain in the ass has been pissing me off for too long. I suggested, "Why don't you come to me to discuss the details?" She was ecstatic, thinking she had won. When Stacy came, I said, "Since I've agreed to your demand, let's go live and announce to everyone that you're having a baby soon. It will help restore my reputation, and it will give you a good reach." She, of course, instantly agreed. We started the broadcast, and I agreed to have a baby for Stacy, so let's ask the expectant mom questions. Stacy was so drunk on winning that she didn't understand what she was getting into. I asked, "So Stacy, tell me, what are your plans for the baby?" She giggled and said, "I'm so glad to become a girl's mom. I've already started shopping for her. From day one she will look like a star. I will never leave her without makeup. She must always be perfect and presentable." I didn't specify that no one had promised Stacy that I would give birth to a girl, but her answers have already angered the audience. Negative comments and trolling have been showered under the video. Stacy was so preoccupied with herself that she didn't notice anything. I said, "That's sweet, Stacy, but what are you going to do when the baby starts acting up and crying? How will you manage?" She replied, "The girls in our family don't cry, do they? I've never seen your daughter cry. She's always so neatly dressed and calm. Not wanting to finish her off right away, I explained, that's because you saw her for a couple of minutes. All the children are crying. For a clean and tidy child, there are hours of mom's struggle with moods, Stacy stated. Then you'll take care of her when she cries, and then you'll give it to me. I'll put on a cute dress with ruffles, pick up a necklace, a tiara, and apply makeup. I couldn't help but laugh. Stacy, children cry day and night. What do you mean you're gonna bring her to me when she cries and take her away when she calms down? She screamed. Yes, that's right. Why not? I let out a malicious laugh. She was indignant. You're trying to scare me. Is it really that hard? You've done it, so I can do it. I'm much better than you. I have a lot of subscribers, and my taste in clothes is much cooler than yours. In the midst of her delirium, she accidentally closed the live broadcast. Stacy was angry that I had framed her, but she didn't realize how much damage she had done to herself. She quit. We agreed on a baby. I smiled without changing my expression. She's gone. My friend recorded the entire broadcast. I wrote a long post where I described in detail how Stacy and her mom are forcing me to have a baby and give it as a birthday present. I've listed all the red flags why Stacy can't be trusted with a child. Her answers on the air made her look dumb by themselves, but I added details that she didn't mention. I marked her in the post and posted it at midnight, when the princess was already asleep. She'll wake up around lunchtime, and by the time she checks out, thousands will have seen the post. As expected, the post went viral. Stacy's followers noting her only increased the effect. People trolled her asking how a person with such a low IQ could exist on the planet. One comment read, "Forget about motherhood, you can't let this woman out on the street alone." After this online battle, my mother-in-law called. Before she could say a word, I blurted out, "Before you open your mouth, know that the conversation is being recorded, and I will not hesitate to post it publicly." God, she immediately hung up and never called back. The spoiled princess was also silent. I warned my mother-in-law that from now on I would record all the calls, screen the correspondence, and if they came to me again, everything would become public knowledge. How nice it was to finally put them in their place. My husband and I are still laughing at the comments and trolling under Stacy's video. It's just hilarious. Well, write in the comments what you think about this story. Thank you for reading to the end. Watch our previous video. It's right here, and good luck to you.